Hello everybody, Cyan Link here with another knife review. Today I'll be doing the Gerber Kiowa. Let's get specs out the way. We have a 3-inch Tanto blade made out of an unknown steel. They list it as high carbon stainless, but judging by the price range, which is 60 to 70, I'm going to say it's either 440 or 1095, which is the steels you can get away with making for that price. The handles are glass-filled nylon. It's the exact same stuff as glass reinforced, but most companies say reinforced just because it sounds better. And that's about it. So they don't sell this knife on their website anymore. They seem to have taken it down, and I think I know why. There's nothing inherently wrong with this knife, but they put it under the tactical category of a knife. And as a tactical knife, I have problems with it. And the first one, well, all my problems are with the blade. The first one being the size. Like I said, this is a 3-inch blade, and for me at least, the smallest size knife I would deal with a in a tactical environment, especially like a combat environment, which by the looks is what this was designed for, is going to be 3.5 inches, and that's minimum, like like a last resort backup in my pocket. And I would actually, for that purpose, prefer 3.8 to 4.0. Any larger than that, it's going to start, getting jammed up in your pocket. It's going to be too long. But 4.0 you can get away with without too much difficulty. Anyway, the second is the steel. Once again, nothing necessarily wrong with 440 or 1095 for general use, but it is a bit brittle. I don't know if you can necessarily make this out, but there's a little bit of chipping right on the end here, and I didn't really do anything to this knife that would warrant that kind of chipping, so there is that. For a tactical knife, I would prefer 154 cm or CPM S30V would be my steels of choice. Next is the coating. Now, most tactical knives are black oxided. Let me get a black oxided knife out here. Good old Spyderco Military. However, this is black painted. I can tell two ways. Number one, it's come off way too much. You can see on the tip, it has come off a lot. It is just almost gone. And you can also see there's a pretty big scratch near the end right here, and just smaller scratches all along the blade, even though it hasn't really gone all the way through yet. And of course, the black oxide, I've been using this knife quite a bit as well, and it hasn't come off at all. There's no damage whatsoever. Second is light dispersal. Now, you can see as I move this through the light, now mind, I do have a very powerful light, but you see how much that's shining? Let's take a look at the black oxide. There we go. Alright, so I move both these back and forth through the light. You can see that the black paint is shining a lot more. That may not seem like a big deal, but you're talking about a tactical setting where you're trying to be covert. Basically what this is doing is the same kind of idea that the stealth technology does to radar, which is scatter it. So from any kind of a distance, the 500 or 600 meters the enemy is going to be at, this is guaranteed not to give away your position because it's, scattering the light all over the place. Whereas this is going to be reflecting it back pretty much wholesale, even though it does have black on it. So there you go. That's basically my problem with this knife in a nutshell. Too small, wrong steel, and they should have black oxide in it, especially since they put it in their tactical lineup. Now, that being said, I actually like the handles. I like these finger grooves. They are nice and comfortable. Has some jimping on the back of the blade. It could also use some on the spine, just a little bit, but there is definitely some there. And you can put your thumb like this. You can put it up here if you want to. Whatever, and there's some natural jimping on the liner lock in here for grip, and of course to close it. And you have this stuff. This is supposedly the same kind of stuff used on skateboards. Oh, excuse me. Same kind of stuff used on skateboards so they can do tricks on them, without flying off the skateboard. Now, I don't know anything about skateboards, but that stuff actually does give me a pretty good grip. So what else? The pocket clip is tipped down. Let me go ahead and close the knife so you can see that. Alright then. Pocket clip is tipped down, which is a little weird. It's a little bit harder to open because you gotta, pull it out your pocket and then switch grips and then open it. But considering you can see the shape of the handle is a little weird, So I'll let them slide with that, although if they remake this knife, I expect them to change the handle shape to allow for a tip-up carry, and I would also expect the pocket clip to be reversible. Let me go ahead and show you how it looks in the pocket. Alrighty then. One pocket, one knife. Alright, so it does have a very long pocket clip, which is neither a good nor bad thing. It allows it to get plenty of grip, but it's also, you know, kind of long. You can see it really easy. It's not really concealed too well. They didn't black paint the pocket clip either, but that's not really too important, so I'm going to let that slide. But you can see it does sit very low in the pocket, and it is small enough to get your hands in the pocket to get other stuff. So that's pretty good. Nothing too bad about that. And with that, that's, you know, pretty much it. So like I said, they took this down off the website. You can still find it other places if you want to. It's not a bad knife. I mean, look, it's only 60 or 70 bucks if you just want a general use everyday carry. It's not a bad choice. You can find better knives out there, but if you want to save a few bucks, there's nothing wrong with doing that. However, if they want to re-release this as a tactical folder, they need to follow my advice. They need to get a bigger blade, they need to use better steel, and they need to black oxide coat it. I would say make a 3.8 inch version out of 154 cm. Now that is going to bump the price of the knife up significantly. It'll probably be more of a $100 or $115 knife versus the $60 knife it is now. S30, I mean 154 and all that is a lot more expensive. But I mean, I'd rather go with quality than saving money, especially for the setting that they were intending this knife to be used in. That's not something you skimp on. I'm Cyan Link. This has been my review of the Gerber Kiowa. Have a nice day.